In the beginning of the story, we see a boy named Hallam who was living alone and depressed after his mother's death. Hallam's mother died 2 years ago due to drowning in the nearby lake. But he thought that his stepmother must have killed his mother and his father must have supported his stepmother because she was his father's secretary, and after his mother's death, Hallam's father married his secretary. Hallam's relationship with his father was not good and he did not want to live with his father and stepmother. That's why he lives alone in his tree house made in a forest near his house all day, and he gets used to spying on people's cameras in the forest. And seeing them, Hallam used to write all this in his diary. He also used to write his thoughts in his diary. One day, Hallam's stepmother reads his diary in which he writes about other people whom he used to keep an eye on. He also praises his stepmother's beauty. After reading all this, Hallam's stepmother goes to his tree house and seduces him. Hallam is also unable to stop himself and both become close. After which Hallam's stepmother blackmails him and sends him to another city so that Hallam could not create a distance between them by provoking his father against him. After this, Hallam comes to an unknown city alone. But he had neither a place to eat nor money. Also, Hallam does not have a place to stay. That's why he has to spend the night on an empty stomach on the roof of a building. The next morning, Hallam sees a woman on the street whose name is Kate. Kate looks a lot like Hallam's dead mother. Looking at her face, Hallam at first glance thinks that she is his mother. Hallam follows Kate and sees her going to a hotel. Hallam also follows her and finds out that Kate is the manager in the hotel. Hallam comes to Kate and asks her if he can get any work here. Kate answers some questions from him and puts him to work in the hotel kitchen. Hallam also needed a lot of work. That's why he starts doing this work and does all the work well. And he also enjoys doing this work. After this, Hallam starts following Kate after the holiday and starts watching her every routine. He sees where she goes, what she does, and even sees her house. Hallam does all this because he started liking Kate. One day when Kate does not come to work and goes out, Hallam goes inside Kate's house. When he looks out the window, he sees the clock tower. He thinks that Kate's house will look better from the clock tower in front. And Hallam used to work under the clock tower. That's when Kate comes to the room. That's why Hallam goes to the roof of the house through the window. And starts spying on Kate through the light of the mirror on the roof of Kate's house. Hallam, who used to sleep in a small room of the hotel, he makes his house in the room of the clock tower the next day, where no one wants to come. Because here he can keep a good eye on Kate with the help of a binocular. After this, Hallam keeps looking in the room of the cat with the help of a binocular and sees him dancing and working. One day when Hallam is keeping an eye on the cat from the clock tower, he sees that his hotel senior has come to Kate's house. Now they are having fun. The next day when Hallam is using the stairs to go to the clock tower, the same senior of the hotel, who was with Kate last night, stops him and says in anger, "You can't go upstairs. Only senior staff can go there." After this, when Hallam is working in the kitchen, then Kate comes to him and asks, "How do you like this job?" On this, Hallam says that he is enjoying his work. Hearing this, Kate also likes it. At night, when Hallam is on the roof of his house to see Kate and is looking at Kate with a binocular, then he sees that Kate is there with his senior. Hallam hides and looks at them, and from their conversation he finds out that his senior is married and has 2 children. That means he and Kate are having an affair. Knowing this, Hallam feels very bad. After this, Hallam comes to the clock tower, where he hides from everyone. Seeing Kate and his senior, he remembers his mother. He thinks that his father and stepmother had an affair a long time ago. When his mother found out about it, she must have gone to meet her stepmother, and then her stepmother must have killed her mother so that she could live well with her father. Here Hallam felt that his stepmother and his father must have killed his mother. That's why Hallam goes to the police station and files a case against his stepmother for the murder of his mother. And tells the officer that his father is not supporting him. The next day, Kate calls Hallam to the office and offers him the work of the front desk in the hotel. On this, Hallam agrees and starts this work. Soon he starts liking this work and becomes a friend of his. One day, when Hallam is looking at Kate from the clock tower, then while doing this, he sees his senior. And he understands that Hallam is keeping an eye on Kate from the clock tower. His senior threatens Hallam in anger that he will get him caught by the police and fire him. But Hallam tells his senior that he knows everything, that he is cheating on his wife and having an affair with Kate. Hallam tries to blackmail him. Then his senior does not fire him and both decide to keep their conversation a secret. The next day, when Hallam is at work, Kate comes to him and wishes him a birthday because today Hallam is 19 years old. His co-worker friend also finds out about this and asks him for a party. On this, Kate also asks Hallam to celebrate his birthday and they plan to go to the bar tonight. At night, Hallam, his co-worker friend and Kate are at the bar and they start drinking. Hallam's friend drinks a lot, so he goes home. While Hallam and Kate start drinking more and start talking. They get very late while drinking, so Kate brings Hallam to her house. Kate is drunk and tries to get close to Hallam while talking. But Hallam is not ready for this. Then they both go to sleep without doing anything. Hallam sleeps next to Kate and thinks that the girl he used to keep an eye on, today he is sleeping with her, which he likes a lot. The next day, when Hallam goes to work, he first goes to Kate and asks her to go on a date, but she refuses him. Kate says that whatever I did last night in a state of intoxication, you forget it. Hearing this, Hallam leaves from there sad. After a while, Hallam is called to the hotel room. When he goes there, he sees that Kate is there. She starts coming close to Hallam and they both get close. Now Hallam started liking Kate and Kate was also happy with Hallam. One day when Hallam climbs on the roof of Kate and goes to see her, he sees that his senior is fighting with Kate. He tries to raise his hand on Kate, shouting in anger. Seeing this, Hallam gets very angry. To save Kate, he removes the glass of the lamp and jumps into the room. He tries to stop his senior, but he raises his hand on Hallam and tells Kate about Hallam. He says that he used to climb on the roof of your house every day and keep an eye on you. Hearing this, Kate first asks her senior to leave from there. After his departure, she asks Hallam, "Did you keep an eye on me? And since when was all this going on?" To which Hallam says, "Ever since I saw you, I have been keeping an eye on you. But there is a reason behind it." Hearing this, Kate gets angry and does not listen to him. She tells him to leave from there and also kicks him out of work. The next day when Kate comes home from work, she sees Hallam sitting outside the hotel. She feels sorry for him, so she brings him home. Then when Kate asks Hallam, "Why were you keeping an eye on me?" To which Hallam says, "My mother died 2 years ago, which broke me. I loved my mother very much, which is why I was never able to get out of this accident." Hallam says, "After my mother's death, my father got married again, but I hate my stepmother. And I started living in a tree house in the nearby jungle, from where I started keeping an eye on people remotely. Over time, it became my habit, but when I came to this city, I saw you." Hallam says, "My mother's face looks like you and when I see you, I miss my mother. That's why he kept an eye on her." Hearing this, Kate feels very bad for Hallam. After this, Kate wears Hallam's mother's dress, which Hallam has brought with him. When Hallam sees her in his mother's dress, he starts crying while missing his mother. Then Kate takes care of him. The next day when Hallam goes to work, he finds out that his parents have come to meet him. Who got his address from the police station because he had filed a case against his stepmother. But due to no evidence, there is no action against his stepmother. Here Hallam's father tells him that he has taken a lot of debt and he will have to sell some of his land so that he can pay the loan. For this, he asks Hallam to sign the will, which his mother had given him before he died. Here Hallam is afraid that his stepmother is behind all this, so he refuses to sign. Then his stepmother starts badmouthing him, and then they leave from there. At night, Hallam remembered his stepmother's words, in which he said that his mother's death was an accident and should be forgotten. But Hallam gets very angry while remembering the words. The next day, Hallam comes home by train. Hallam is badly affected by sorrow and pain and comes home quietly. And goes to his stepmother, closes her mouth and ties her. Then he takes her to the lake and throws her in the water. The stepmother starts drowning, and then Hallam realizes that he is doing wrong. So he takes the stepmother out of the water and apologizes to her. Then the stepmother leaves from there. Then Hallam's father comes to him and confesses that his mother was depressed for a long time. Hallam is badly affected by sorrow and pain and comes home quietly. And goes to his stepmother, closes her mouth and ties her. Then he takes her to the lake and throws her in the water. The stepmother starts drowning, and then Hallam realizes that he is doing wrong. So he takes the stepmother out of the water and apologizes to her. Then the stepmother leaves from there. Then Hallam's father comes to him and confesses that his mother was depressed for a long time and she took her own life. Here Hallam realizes that he was wrong. He apologizes to his father for his behavior, and then Hallam comes to the cat by train. But she refuses to meet him. She says that her relationship with anyone has never been good. That's why she doesn't want to be in a relationship with anyone now. The cat sends Hallam back saying that he is still young. If you want to keep a relationship with me, then come after a few years. After this, Hallam leaves from here. And with a smile on his face while walking on the road, he thinks that one day he will definitely meet the cat. And with this, the movie ends. Friends, thank you very much for watching the video till here. Like and share the video and subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon so that you don't miss the upcoming videos. See you in the next video.